Hello and welcome to C3D for me. In this video we are going to go over importing shapefiles. Now there are two pretty simple ways you could bring in shapefile data. One is by the map import command and one is by the map connect command. So we're going to go ahead and go over the map import command first. So let's type in map import and navigate to our shapefile. And now once you select your shapefile, it'll bring you to this window. Now one thing we're going to want to do is make sure our coordinate system is set in the drawing. I'm on the Washington State Plains South Zone US foot, but you go ahead and set it to whatever coordinate system you're working in. I'm going to hit OK. And you can see we have a few options here once we have our shapefile. So this is the input layer. This is telling you the layer in the shapefile that's being input in the drawing. This is the drawing layer. In this dropdown you could pick which layer the data is going to be put on. It'll default to a layer that matches the name of the input layer, but you could change the layer if you'd prefer. This here is the coordinate system that CAD identifies as being associated with the shapefile. It shouldn't be an issue if the coordinate system doesn't match the coordinate system of your drawing. As long as you have it correctly set in your drawing, CAD should be able to automatically transform between the two, but always make sure to verify. Now here is the data. We're going to want to go ahead and take a look at this. So, if you have a database file associated with your shapefile, we'll go ahead and look at this for an example. So this is the whole shapefile package. I believe the information comes from this .dbf. We have the option to create object data. So let's go ahead and see what that looks like. So if you click this Select Fields button, you can see all of the object data that's in the shapefile that you can also bring into CAD with it. So I'm going to go ahead and bring all of it in. And hit OK. Now here's the option for points. If the shapefile has any points in it, this is where you can set what the points come in as. It'll default to a basic AutoCAD point, not a COGO point, or you can select a block in the drop-down, or if you hit this expand button right here, you have more options. Here you could bring it in as text from the object data, or here's another drop-down where you could bring it in as a block. My data doesn't have any points in it, so I'm just going to hit create as points for now. Okay, and let's bring it in and see what this looks like. Now my data set was for storm drainage lines over an entire county, so as you can see there's a pretty substantial amount of data here. Let's go ahead and zoom in and take a look. So you can see if you select just any random line, it brought it in on the layer drainage main lines, same layer as the shapefile, and also it brought in all of the associated object data with this particular line. Now let's take a look at what happens if we import a shapefile with points in it. So let's go ahead and run that map import command again. Now it's imported the data, but it's imported all the blocks at a scale of 1, so they're not really visible right now. So I'm going to go ahead and bump that up. Alright, now that the blocks are visible, we'll go ahead and select one. So here we go, we have a block reference. It brought it in as the block I specified. It's on the layer that matches the shapefile we just imported. And it brought in all of the object data that was associated with that. So it took all the points from the shapefiles and inserted them as blocks in our drawing with the associated object data. Now the nice thing about importing shapefiles this way is that you are able to actually use this as an XREF in another drawing. One caveat though is if you choose to encopy from the drawing, it won't bring in the object data, but if you copy from this drawing and paste it into another drawing, it will bring the associated object data with it. Now that we've briefly gone over map import, we're going to go ahead and look at the map connect command and see how it compares to this. Now I've deleted all the previous data, so we're going to try the map connect command. So it'll bring us to this page, and we want to be on the add SHP or shape connection. So for the connection name, I'm going to call it drainage lines for the first one. And I'm going to link it to the shapefile in the exact same way as I did previously. And then we hit connect. So it'll bring us to this screen. We're going to want to make sure our coordinate system is set for the map connect command in the exact same way as it was for the map import. So we're going to go ahead and check this box, and we're going to want to ensure that our coordinate system is set in the drawing, similar to how we did it with the map import command. Now let's hit add to map. And you can see it loaded up all the same data as it did before, and it comes in as what's called a map feature, and you can see the map feature has all the object data in its properties. Now these map features do function a little bit differently than the lines we brought in from the map import command, and to see that we're going to have to go into the map task pane. So I have it up here. You could bring it up from either typing in map w space in the command line, or under palettes you can click it here, map task pane. Now you can see we have our drainage main lines here. If you want to edit the style, you could double click on this line and change the style in a similar way you'd be able to change any other CAD object. Let's go ahead and close that. Now another plus from bringing in our shapefile through the map connect command is that we get access to this table. So if we click on the table button, it opens up this table here, which lists every object that you just brought in with all of its associated object data. And with that comes the ability to sort and filter through all the data you just brought in. Now let's go ahead and bring in our points through the map connect command and see what those look like. Alright, I've imported our shapefile containing the points, and you can see as a default they come in as these little circles with an outline that also dynamically scale to your screen, but of course you are able to edit the appearance of those as well. So if we go over and double click on the symbol, and then open up our style, you can see we have the option to select the size from device or map, which basically means this is dynamically scaling or this is fixed scaling. So I'm going to go ahead and set it to fixed scaling. And you're also able to select a different symbol if you'd like. Or you have the option of importing a block, which I'm going to go ahead and do. Alright, I'm going to load this catch basin block. You can see now our symbol is the catch basin block with the same option to scale however you'd like. And you also have the option to change the color of the block, like so. I'm going to hit apply and we'll see what the new symbols look like. Here we are, we have what were our shapefile points as our catch basin blocks, as we just specified in the style window. If you select it, we have all of the object data you'd expect to see. I'm going to show you one more feature before we go, and that's the ability to add a feature label to any of our points and lines from the shapefiles. So if we open up our window here and we go to feature label, alright, so you can see this familiar window here. So we're going to go size, map, or fixed sized, unit, feet. Let's hit add label. So I want to see under text content, you can see we have all that familiar looking object data. Let's say on all of the structures, I want to see the lid type. I'm going to hit lid type. I'm going to bump our text size up just to make sure it's nice and visible. I'm going to hit add label. I'm going to delete this because it just says text as an example. So delete. I'm going to hit apply, close, and now you can see it's added descriptions to all of our structures here. Now the one caveat to using the map connect function is that it can't be referenced, meaning that you can't use this to create some sort of like GIS base. If you try to reference this drawing, the entire thing will just come in as blank, meaning it's hard to share this data with people because they have to open up this one single drawing. And they'll also need access to your file system since everything is streaming from the shapefile and it's not really in the drawing. That was my brief overview on how to import shapefile data. I hope it helps. Thanks for watching.